So let me get this straight, G. He nearly forgot to apply for the job, and then he didn't actually finish the interview with Valencia.
No, and the best bit was the shock on his face when he didn't get the job.
But he can get a job that he never even applied for. So
Exactly, Editor Ben. This man is an idiot, but I was thinking, how on earth didn't you mention it while editing the video?
I can explain that. I've got a new lad on work experience at the moment, haven't I?
Really?
Yeah, so it just happened. It was his first day yesterday, and that sort of thing wouldn't have got past me. So
who's this work experience guy you've got then?
Well, you wouldn't believe this, G, but it's... Yeah, it was pretty bad. I'll give you it. It was pretty bad. What can I tell you? Now, what I can tell you is at the end of yesterday's episode, I promised you. I said, next episode, I guarantee we'll be at a new team. I'm going to guarantee you something. We will be with a team, right? And I will reveal that team to you next episode. I didn't think it would be in August, but here we are. Welcome, gang, to RB Leipzig. That's right. And when I said the dream team, I didn't mean necessarily this team. I meant that prodigy number 2, Jordan Henderson, joins me as assistant manager. Now, I'm sure you've got questions, and look, let it be known. You can see it there. In the last 10 years, Leipzig have won the league twice, so they are a contender. Last year, though, well, they finished 12th, which... obviously it's not good, but don't fear, because I am a man that knows how to take a team in Germany from lower down in the league table to close to the top, really close. And RB Leipzig have given me the opportunity to showcase something. Now let's address the elephant in the room. I have wasted a year in a time limit challenge. I've wasted a year. Didn't even have an international tournament in that year, so just nothing. And what a year it was. I couldn't get a job. I left Inter Milan. There wasn't a big shuffle of big teams. There wasn't really the option to Valencia. I could have gone to Valencia, but I do think with this Leipzig team, we've got a better chance. So let me try and now convince you of that. Financially, loving it, viewers. Loving it. And we've got a transfer still to do, but we're loving this. They've got loads of money. They're loving life. I'm loving it. We're all loving life. We're all loving life. Now then, as we look at the team, there'll be some faces on here that will be vaguely familiar from years gone by, but most of them, of course, we're in 2029 now, most of them are regens, new gens, regens. And look, we're confident. I mean, I'm confident that we can definitely challenge for honours. Are they in Europe? No, they're not. They finished 12th. They're in the German Cup, and there's a first game of that. We're actually not going to play a game today. I'm just going to talk you through everything we've got going on here at Leipzig. We might, well, do you know what? We might play. Who knows? The episode is full of mystery, viewers. I know the Bundesliga is a tough league to win. I found that out. Unai Emery, that was a doddle. He loved it. I struggled somewhat, it's fair to say. And in those years, Leipzig did win it. So we know where they're good. Leipzig. Prepare for that to change every episode. It's Leipzig. It is RB Leipzig. That's how I've just watched a video on YouTube, so I think I'm pretty much certain. And going into this season, we're not favourites. No, we are not favourites. We don't really have that many players in the best... We don't have any players in the best 11, viewers. But that doesn't mean that our team isn't ready to compete. And as we're not in Europe, we have basically a free hit at the German Cup and at the league title. That's right, viewers. He said the words league title. We're going for it. We are going... I'm saying now, we're going for it. The squad we've got is good enough to at least look good for a bit. So let's run you through the team in terms of ability. And you're looking at this early on, you're going, Ben, you've not got nearly enough quality to be competing at this level. You are so wrong. So I've actually made quite a few signings when I came in. I had 100 million to spend. I've spent a bit of it. Some players have left as well. And transfer-wise, then let's bring you to the transfer history screen. You can see here then 31 million spent on a couple of decent players, and a few players have gone out as well that, frankly, we don't need to talk about because you didn't know they existed to begin with. So we're absolutely fine. Luigi was brought in pre-me. I wouldn't have signed him. So he's going into the B team basically straight away. Luigi, sorry about that, mate. I've just got me in Italy at the moment, not having fun. Oh, just on that very briefly. I got to the Nations League final with France, of course, France manager. That's show them, Ben. As if my life couldn't become more ridiculous in this save game. Lost to Italy, didn't I? And Zagi scored. Yeah, good. But back to the transfers then. 4 players have been brought in. And of course, these 4 guys are my guys. I've brought them in. They're the guys that I'm going to depend on to come off the bench more often than not. But no, we'll start with Matthias Fries, who's come in from Midtjylland. You can see already, we've got ourselves a world-class talent. You're thinking, how much did he cost you? Ben, you may have caught an eye on it there. 11.25 million. I think this year he's going to be a key man for me, a real superstar. He's got everything you look for really in a central midfielder, and I'm looking forward to seeing how he gets on. Great stamina, that box-to-box player, energy, good passing ability, good work rate, first touch, long shots. I expect big things from Friss. We'll see though, won't we? Next up is Louisa Ricardo, who we've loaned in from Manchester City, and I've got to be honest, I'm surprised they've let me have him. He's absolutely brilliant. 17 tackling, 18 passing, again, great first touch, composure on the ball, lovely vision as well. He's going to sit just in front of that back line, dictate the tempo. Everything's going to go through him. Louis Ricardo is my key man, really, in this side. A 19-year-old Brazilian, I'm putting all my hopes in him. So, yeah, maybe saying it out loud seems like a risk. And then I thought I'd bring in a couple of powerhouse strikers, because we need, basically I always think you need 4 strikers, especially when you're playing a system as we are. We're playing the diamond system. Neither of these two boys at the moment are starting in that system, but the first one is Victor Hugo. We've brought him in from Santos, and I think you'll agree, he looks Diego-like, I would say. Again, another sort of elephant in the room. We've brought out bloody Diego's shirts, haven't we? I mean, now we're in a situation where we can't get him because we're not a team capable of getting him until we win this league, and then we get him in for the Champions League run next year, or the Europa League run. Yeah, see, that is an issue. But Victor Hugo comes in, 17.25 million. I think he's going to be a star. Whether he starts to be straight away, I'm not quite sure. Another young Brazilian. We're putting all our hopes in. No pressure, lads. And then finally, this is a gamble. This is a gamble transfer. I've basically gone to Braga and said, here's 3.1 million. Give me your best striker. And they've offered me up Seiko Diallo. Now, again, very, very pacey, great finisher. Composure an issue, but a little bit of a live wire. Fickle. I don't mind it. Portuguese. Again, I think he could have a decent impact for me. Just 3.1 million. For these set of attributes, I think we've got ourselves potentially a little bit of a wonder kid on our hands. It doesn't say that. It's just fickle striker, but not in my mind. Advanced forward, comes off the bench, grabs a goal late on, instinctive. That's what I'm thinking. Forget the composure, forget the passing, everything else he's good at. So there are 4 boys that I have brought into the side then, and I'm still looking to bring in an attacking midfielder that I've had in my French team in the last few weeks, or a few months, sorry, and I'm trying to get him in from a German rival as well. In that best 11, he was in it, and he may well be introduced to you next time, maybe later in the video. The surprise is continuing, viewers. So let's go through the 11 that I think I'm going to be playing through then with this season, and of course we'll see them in action at some point, maybe later today. Who knows? It's a mystery, viewers. Ethan Clement will be our goalkeeper, French. This is the one area where I don't necessarily think we're absolutely fantastic. We've got 2 goalkeepers of very similar ability. We've got Clement and Semper, who I say very similar. Is the sort of role that for this year I'm kind of happy to let it rest. Next year we're going to go for someone big, I think. But right now, coming in, don't want to change too much. Quite like the fact that he's here. And the defence, I didn't really want to play with too much. Again, I like the stability of teams. I like to have that when I first come into squads, and I don't want to change that too mumuch. I did the same at Inter, did a pretty similar job at Arsenal as well, but what one centre back in, didn't change too much. At right back though, Maffeo, 32-year-old Spanish international, we can call him. Just nicely well-rounded attributes, again, 3.5-star ability according to our assistants and our coaches. So yeah, pretty good. Liking what we've got here. Again, solid player, year 1, maybe improved upon next year, but for now, happy with Pablo Maffeo. This is as obvious. Sting Schouten, probably. Sting Schouten. Don't you don't have to Schouten. It probably isn't said like that. Dutch fans get involved. 5'11", again, decent centre back. It's another area where I'm happy for now, but I definitely want to improve. We've got a few options as well on the bench. Speaking of defenders, we've got Dumbia who can play there, but the one that really stands out is Salisu, who could play that role, but left-footed. We've got quite a good left-footed centre-back. I'll show you him now. Morato on the left-hand side looks slightly more well-rounded. Another Brazilian, another player in my teams that don't have I don't know why he hasn't got a face, viewers. He's an early-year regen, so that probably makes sense, as my face pack might be from FM18. That tells you everything you need to know about me, doesn't it? But no, really solid centre-back. Some of the mental's a bit concerning, but overall, pretty happy with this. And at left-back, that's not a real surname. Werner Fleischner. Don't really say the S's are sort of B's. It's very confusing. Fleischner. German viewers, I look forward to it. I look forward to the comments. 5'4", looks like a pretty good left back to me. He can play with either foot. I don't know if he's stronger on which foot actually. He's very strong on the right, but he's strong on the left, which is good enough for me to play left back. And again, I think he looks really, really good. Got plenty of potential too. 21 years of age, another fantastic left back in this save. There's so many of them, and he's a natural left back, so that obviously helps. Although for me, both of them will be playing wing backs. We've got we've got a ball playing defender and a cover centre back as well. In front of them, we mentioned him before, Louis Ricardo, absolute superstar. superstar. I can't wait to see how we do with him. In other midfield options, Beat Di Stefano is another one that can definitely play. If we were to go to a bit more of an advanced 3, he can definitely be part of that. Freeze, we've talked about that box-to-box midfield role. I think he's absolutely ideal for it. Again, really nice young player. Already, I'd like to think you're looking at this squad thinking, there's some nice bits to this, Ben. I'm enjoying it. Walter Amarilla, the Argentine, to his left-hand side. Again, looks really, really good. Those mentals are really great for a 23-year-old. Decent passing, decent technique, good enough physicals for me as well. And of course, we'll have that cover behind him. Good dribbling, good first touch. I like him a lot. I think, again, a really good player in this squad. A solid player, so I like him. Peroca is playing just ahead of them with the Brazilian. We looked at him a few times. We nearly signed him, I think, at Arsenal, maybe even somewhere else. Inter seconds? No, I don't remember. I definitely have looked at him before, though, and thought, yeah, maybe you. That's right. He was at Dortmund after I left. I knew we knew the name. We knew the name. Leipzig have signed him. He's done pretty well for them. I think he's missing a bit of an X factor. I was going to save it. We'll show you now who I'm trying to bring in instead of Peroca. That man is Xavier Cabaye, the Frenchman. I mentioned I'd used him a little bit for my French team. He's at Wolfsburg at the moment. We're spending quite a lot on him. We'll see how good he ends up being. It says there 3.5 stars. I think he's better than this, so I'm not worried about this. 22 years of age. We'll see what we make of him when we actually sign him. It's a lot of money. Talk about it tomorrow. And finally up front, I've shown you 2 strikers. You're probably thinking, wow, they were pretty good, Ben. Who are you playing ahead of them? Okay. Fukunishi Masayuki. That's the only time I'll ever say it. I like the idea of calling him Yuki, to be honest. He's German with quite a Japanese sounding name, I would say. He's got origins of Japan, so it makes sense. Fukunishi Masayuki. It's easy. I'm laying it out, viewers. He's going to play on the right-hand side for now, a player that's been here a little while already. He's good, and I'm sure we'll play him to start off the season, but Victor Hugo's really good. So he's left-sided, but he's very good. But we can move our other main man there, another Brazilian. There's a Brazilian thing. We're sambering our way through this team, viewers. We're loving it. 20 years of age is Leonardo Jose Brown, who looks... Yep. Yeah. This is one of the reasons I came to Leipzig. He is brilliant. So I look forward to seeing how he develops and hopefully scores us a lot of goals. Leonardo... No? Okay. Sorry, shouldn't have done it. Should not have done it. But I think he could be, again, a real treat for us this season. I think he's going to be absolutely fantastic. And the team overall then, I am pretty happy with. I think we've got a nice balance, some really good young prospects. You look at the average age of the team, like there's not too many old heads in this side at all. We have got so many youngsters. And I was saying before, there's going to be room maybe for a project in this. If I don't get the PSG job or one of the top 3 in Spain, I don't know how this ends, by the way. I don't know how this ends. But regardless, we've got years left. We're about halfway through now. We're in 2029. We are halfway through now. So we've got 10 years, basically, to complete the challenge. And let's take a look at then what we still need. All right, then, so you can see it on screen there, then. We still need the Europa League. We still need the World Cup, the European Championships. We still need the German Cup, the Bundesliga title. We need everything in France and everything in Spain. And luckily, Italy and England have been ticked off the list. So, of course, goal here, first things first, is to get Leipzig back in contention, hopefully for a Bundesliga title. But let's be honest, if you finish in the Europa League spots... we can handle that. We're okay with that. Obviously, it's going to be a challenge, but I really do think we've got the squad to do that. And then, obviously, moving on to France and Spain, we've got 10 years, so it should be fine, right? And look back at the squad. I think we're in a good shape to at least be here for a couple of years. You think about what this team could look like in 2 or 3 years, and then we go to one of the big boys in France and Spain. We should be able to do this. It's the international bit, isn't it? And it's the Europa League. But we'll see. Let me know what your thoughts are then. Are you excited by this squad? I certainly am. Of course, we're going to have to get to know them. We don't know too many players in this side, but that's part of the Glory Hunter Challenge. Going somewhere we've not been before and finding things out. Germany looks different. The Bundesliga looks different. Michael Laudrup's Dortmund is not the Dortmund that we had. Sure, there are some players here that will recognise their squad is very small. I think Daniel Olmo's set to leave. Julian Brandt's still there. Pinto's still there. Conrad's still there. So some names we're absolutely familiar with. And Bayern Munich, of course, are continually a force in this division. Frank Lampard is at the helm there, and that's basically what we're aiming for. We've got to try and get ahead of this side. Fite Arp is a player that I'm sure you're familiar with if you've played FM for the last few years. Very, very talented, and someone amongst others that we're going to have to stop. I'm looking through that Bayern team. There's, again, not too many familiar names, but the teams at the top are the teams that are always there. They're familiar faces. And so far then, 7th, if we can bring in Cabaye, I think we've got our chance here at doing something special this season, and hopefully you'll join me then for that adventure. Look, France and Spain can wait. For now, let's do what we did in Italy, but first conquer Germany. You know, after Italy. Italy's done. Move Italy. England and Italy, you go over there.
What are you doing?
Sorry, apologies. And then Germany will conquer it in the next couple of years. Right? Yeah. If you enjoyed the video, please do drop a like. And if you want to see some more, subscribe to the channel. And we love with care. If you don't spend until next time, I'll see you again very, very soon. Goodbye. There was nothing in the summer. This was the best we could get. Bye, everyone.